Okay, so we figured out what the purpose is. We got that right. Okay, so I'm just going to like reword it. You have got everything right. You got the pieces of the puzzle. I'm just going to put them together. It's a chance to show the rest of your application. It's a demonstration of your character, your values, your voice, right? It's a platform to show who you are outside of the transcript. You're not just a number, a grade, or a test score, right? It has got to be introspective and personal. The more personal your essay is, the more raw your essay is, I have seen it really appeals to a college, right? They want to see that. They want to see a personality. They're not looking for a robot or somebody who can fake it till they make it. So they want like genuine students. You failed, it's all right. You've flown past it, you have adversities, whatever it is, share it, bare your soul is what I tell my students. Okay, so that's the purpose of the personal statement or the personal essay. So now that we've gotten that established, let's move on to what are the successful qualities of a college essay. Okay. Number one, they've got to be introspective and reflective, right? Who are you? Like when they read that essay, they should be able to visualize the kind of personality that you are. Like, are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Like, I'm just giving you examples. Are you quirky? Do you have a sense of humor? Anything, you will be able to get it out of an essay, right? So I tell my students that it's like a trailer of a movie, right? It's up to you to make that trailer like interesting or like really boring. Got it? Next, it has to be a student's voice, right? What is their personal struggle? What do they believe in and everything? But of course, it is a delicate balance that you don't veer into controversial topics, right? I always tell my students to stay away from political and controversial topics. I had a girl who submitted her first essay on abortion. It's not like I'm against it or anything, but you don't know who the application officer is, right? Could be a liberal, could be a conservative. We don't want to take that stance, right? And also, I had another student who said she wanted to write a whole essay on feminism. I mean, we don't want to get so deeply specific. It has to be a student's point of view, but please, this is play a politically correct game is what I say. Got it? It doesn't need to be there in your college application. Your personal opinion can be there, but it doesn't belong in the college application. Any questions, please post them. I will address them. I mean, please don't be shy. I have addressed all kinds of questions, so nothing that you will ask me will surprise me, but I'm just hoping that it will add to my repertoire of questions and knowledge. Okay, next, the third aspect is it needs to be descriptive and engaging, right? You don't want to like sort of bore the admission officer to death. It's got to be engaging. A little bit of humor is good. I tell my students that, hey, make sure that you bring a smile on the admissions officer's face. Not like, oh my God, they cry buckets after reading your essay, right? It should be entertaining, right? And that's important. And it has to be honest. I mean, you cannot make up anecdotes. You cannot make up stories. You cannot lie. I have rejected a lot of parents because they wanted to pad their extracurricular activities or they wanted to embellish things on their CommonApp. Guess why you shouldn't do it? Is because the admissions officer, when they question or they have a doubt, they're not going to call you. They're going to call the high school counselor. Got it? That is their main point of contact. Even before they get in touch with the student, they will call the high school counselor to confirm things on your application, and at which point it's not a good sign. So whatever it is, don't talk about somebody else's story. If you feel like you've not had an adversity, or you find your story not good enough, please do not write about somebody else. Be utterly honest, not just in the Common App, but in other aspects of your application as well. Got it? Okay, and I tell my students to follow 3 things. It's got to be an uncommon topic. It's got to have uncommon connections, and 3 is uncommon language. This is what stands out. It's like the unconventional and distinct essays that get you the most money and acceptances. Trust me, I've seen that. Last year, my student wrote an essay about how he learned to cut hair in the pandemic, right? In most cultures, it's quite frowned upon, but he picked that skill and he was very passionate about it. And his whole essay was how his fingers trembled when he tried to cut his bald dad's hair, who had just about enough hair on the sides, and how the whole essay was about how he felt good that his dad trusted him with the little amount of hair he had in his head, and how he felt so proud that his dad accepted his hobby instead of telling him, hey, go do computer science or math or science. So that was a wonderful essay. He got in everywhere. He got into a lot of schools. And of course, his profile was good, but it was a very distinct essay. Okay. Another essay was my student who wrote about his visit to the rat temple in India. If you don't know, there is a rat temple in India. You can Google it. He wrote about it. This is a beautiful essay, unconventional essay, and I'm pretty sure the admissions officer found it very engaging, right? I don't think they've ever heard about it. Wonderful. He got into a lot of schools. Another essay was about my student who, over the pandemic, she trained her parakeets. She had 2 parakeets. She named them, and she wrote about her struggles with training the pesky parakeet that would just keep running around. So you see, it's like deeply personal, and it shows your values. It's all about the student values, right? They're completely unconventional topics. Never once would I encourage my student to boast or highlight their achievements. There have been a lot of conversation with parents who felt like that essay topic was not good. They felt like the CommonApp essay had to highlight a student's achievements. That's not the case at all. It's got to be unconventional, because there are other aspects of your CommonApp essay which will highlight your achievements. But here it is about your personal struggles, your epic fails. So I have a student currently who's writing about his science project that failed miserably when he was in elementary school. It is like he writes about how there was an experiment in science, and he took the gummy bear and he dunked it in water and it became like a big blob, right? So it's a beautiful essay, right? So that is how it's got to be. I'm spending a lot of time here because it is hard without guidance. It's extremely difficult for students to come up with an essay out of thin air. Okay? And then it's got to be well written. Whatever it is, this is the part that makes me literally cry or scream when when I'm hired to go over students' profiles who didn't make it, right? I'm like, oh, it's so dry. It's so expository. Where is the vocabulary? Vocabulary shows maturity. Okay, and please don't have anybody write your child's essay, because the admission officer can make out a 16, 17, 17-year-old's vocabulary, and their style, their lingo, the way of writing and everything. Okay, so you can get an essay coach, but don't do that. So another part is it being well written. It's got to be tight. It's got to be like crisp. I mean, this is what I tell my students, that I love murko. I don't know if you guys are all Indians, or the crispy treats that Indians eat all the time instead of chips, or Lay's potato chips. Let's say Lay's potato chips. See how crisp it is? It just melts in your mouth. Do you ever want to have a soggy chip, or a chip that's not crisp? Your essay's got to be crisp. Put it in your mouth. Lay's, especially the rippled chips, it's got to be like that. Got it? Me and my metaphors, right? I'm in essay la la land because this is what I've been doing day in, day out.